Let's go talk about creating file shares in the storage account. In the previous sections, we looked at how you can create blobs and then create containers. We do the same thing with files, but in files, you create file shares. You can either create files by clicking on this little button here under the overview section, or scroll down till the point you see file services. Both of them will bring you to the same interface. Now click on one of these and then you will have the options to create a file share. You can define, of course, the name and also the amount of data, the maximum amount of data that can fit inside this file share. You can define in gigabytes. So at this time I'll specify 1024 GB and also give it some name, marketing, and then go ahead and create it. Now that it is ready, you can click on this marketing and start uploading content inside it. Uploading data is really not a big deal like you saw in the previous blob section where we were uploading data into the containers. So you can just click on this browse button and then upload files just like that. It's pretty simple. But what's important here is to connect it and mount it as a drive on your Windows and Linux based machines. And to connect it to your Linux or Windows based machines, you can click on this connect button and then you will see several commands for both Windows and Linux. For Windows you will see test-connection for PowerShell based command, and this is a command line based command. If you have a Linux machine, you can use mount, which is sudo mkdir mounting on a particular drive. You also have similar set of commands for Mac. I have a Windows based machine ready and we can test one of these commandlets right now. I'll go to virtual machine section and open a new tab so that I can see my virtual machine, RDP to it, and use either the PowerShell based command or the CLI based command on my Windows machine. Let's get started with it. So here's my virtual machine which is running and its public IP address as follows, and I'll copy this and RDP to the Windows based machine. Alright, I'll quickly type the user ID and password. Okay, now that our Windows machine is up and ready, I will launch PowerShell on this machine to execute the command shown in Azure. To launch PowerShell, I'll click on Start and then just type PowerShell there. Okay, usually have the habit of opening the PowerShell ISC. While it is loading, I can just minimize this and go back to Azure File Share and copy the command here. Now before copying this command, I'll show you something else. It's a drive letter that you can choose. You can choose between all the alphabets all the way from A to Z. So if you say, let's say you select T, then your drive will be T drive. Yeah. Now if I scroll down here in the command, you will see somewhere that it is mounting it to the T drive. I'll show it to you once we go into the virtual machine right here. Then we can look at the command here in the PowerShell ISC. Okay, so looks like this is testing the network connection to the endpoint called information hosting.file.core, and this is the SMB protocol 445. It is invoking an expression, and here is the drive name, new-ps drive-name T. So your drive name will be T. And if I scroll to the right, you will also see the username that it's using and the password, which is nothing but the key that it is using to connect to the drive. This random gibberish alphanumeric string that you see is nothing but a key that will be used to connect to this file share. Let's execute this. Let's run it, give it a few minutes. It was able to establish a first TCP handshake and successfully mounted my T drive, right? So let's try to navigate to the T drive right from here. Okay, and now if I do dir, what should I have in my drive? Remember, there was a PowerShell file that I uploaded. It must be visible in the directory. There you go. Install webservice.ps1 is right there. So anything that you upload through the Azure portal will be visible here. In the next video, we'll see how you can create a file share using PowerShell.